What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another edition of the top 100 artists of all time as voted by you guys. We're counting down numbers 55 through 51 on this episode, so we're almost halfway there. Very excited, and man, this is, I think all these artists on this episode should probably be higher on the list. But all great. So let's get right to it. At number 55, Joni Mitchell. I mean, come on. What can you say? One of the greatest female artists of all time. Let's just say it. One of the greatest artists of all time. Period. I mean, so many great records to her name throughout her career, so many great songs, but my personal favorite is Blue from 1971. Absolutely one of my favorite records ever. I give it a 10 out of 10. It's on my wall of perfect albums behind me. You can't see it. It's a little that way, but absolutely just every song on there. I mean, from My Old Man to the title track to California. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything. I think it's really kind of the greatest folk rock album of all time. And that's really saying something. I mean, because there's so many great artists in that genre, but she did so much for that genre, really took it to another level in the 70s and continued throughout the years. I mean, just one of the all-time greats and voice like no other. So yeah, great, and really should be higher on the list, but hey, what can you do? So now at number 54, Pearl Jam. Oh yeah, you know I love Pearl Jam. I've done many album reviews of them on this channel. I've done their top 5 songs, their top 5 albums. They're absolutely one of my favorite bands of all time, and really should be higher on the list. I mean, I got into them pretty much straight from the get-go with their album 10 from 1991, which is my favorite record of theirs. I mean, one of the greatest debut albums of all time, bar none. But I mean, they had so many great ones. Their follow-up Verses, Vitology, their latest Gigaton was really great, and really a comeback for them as a band. I mean, come on, man. Eddie Vedder, one of the greatest voices in the business. Even his solo stuff for, the Into the Wild soundtrack is great. But the whole band, even as they've had so many drummers throughout their career, there's never really a weak record. Some are stronger than others. Another highlight for me is 1998's Yield. That's actually my second favorite album by them. You can check out my top 5, and I discuss them in much greater detail. But again, one of the best bands ever. So that's only at number 54. Now at 53, Tom Petty. Oh man, another rock icon. I mean, come on, from the early 70s, this guy has just been paving the way for rock and roll, and he's just one of those American artists that is so true to himself and true to his voice. He never, all his songs were 3 or 4 chords, like nothing too difficult, and, but at the same time, he made it look easy. I mean, so many amazing songs like Mary Jane's Last Dance and Free Fallin' and I Won't Back Down. And I mean, just throughout all those amazing tracks was just a master of melody who just, as I said, knew how to write these simplistic songs that were so catchy and at the same time so rocking. If I had to pick a favorite album from him, as much as I love all the stuff he did with the Heartbreakers, 1994's Wildflowers was where it's at, man. Produced by Rick Rubin. Just every track on there was fantastic. You Don't Know How It Feels, You Wreck Me, Cabin Down Below. Just everything on there is a gem, and just one of the greatest artists ever, and another one who should be higher on the list. But that's at 53, so now at 52... Ray Charles. Oh man, this guy really needs to be higher on the list. I'm kind of shocked that he's not at least in the top 50. But I mean, come on, what can you say? Just the genius. That was his nickname, and for good reason. I mean, aside from being blind, whether he was blind or not, he started a revolution of rock and roll, the way that he played, especially in the late 50s when that song What I Say hit. Man, it was just like there was nothing like it, just kind of melding blues, R&B, and rock all together. And if I had to pick a favorite record of his, it would be that 1959 album, self-titled What I Say. But I mean, so many hits through the years. Georgia on My Mind. I mean, if he had just made that one song, he would still be an icon. But I mean, come on. Even throughout the 80s, when he appeared on the Blues Brothers soundtrack, and even into his elder years, he was always in the limelight and in a classy way. Whether he was, singing with Van Morrison or whatever, just incredible. And only at number 52. I can't believe it. But now at number 51, Miles Davis, another artist that really should be higher on this list. But what can you say? One of the greatest jazz artists of all time, if not the greatest. A lot of people would argue that. And that would be hard to argue. I mean, John Coltrane is kind of up there neck and neck with him. But I mean, come on, man. So many amazing records, so much great material. Kind of Blue is the one that I think most people would agree is his greatest achievement, and I would agree with that. I think it's a perfect record. Then you've got, he enters more experimental years in the 60s and beyond, albums like Bitches Brew. He was always pushing himself, and that, like any great artist, and like any of the ones that I mentioned on this one episode. I mean, this is a great episode. I can't believe still that I'm saying we're not halfway there yet. We're not in the top 50. Really, all 5 of these artists, I think, should be bumped up a notch. But hey, this was based on your votes, purely democratic. So this is how it's coming out so far. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think of the list so far? Did anyone you voted for make it onto this episode? What do you think the future holds for the top 50? Are you excited about it? I know I am. I mean, as much as I'm kind of complaining that these artists should be higher, what a great top 100 it's been thus far. So get ready, folks. Next week, we're starting into the top 50. Halfway there, and thank you so much for voting. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, we got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Joni Radio, and I'll see you soon.